What's poppin'? This boy Big Bro Dre. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a touchy subject for me, but I gotta talk about it. Why do men in the military hate women so much? Let's get to it. So I always start my videos off by thanking my supporters, thanking my subscribers, thanking anybody who's done anything for my channel. I appreciate you guys. You guys always show me love, so I gotta show it back. And I also started with telling you that I'm gonna get to your questions, and I probably won't. At least not this week anyway, but I'm working on it. So this video, man, I got an email from one of my loyal supporters. She's a female. She's a part of, she went to SFAS, which is Special Forces Assessment, and she got back and she passed the assessment, but she noticed that when she got to her units that a lot of her male counterparts had a lot to say about her and how it was segregated and how they let her through and how she didn't have to go through and do all the things that the men had to do. So, you know, I sat down, I talked to her. You know, we had a good conversation about, you know, what happened at schooling and whatnot. And a lot of what I get from when I talk to men about why they dislike women, I'm gonna be honest, it just sounds like a lot of insecurity on the men. And I'm not one of those dudes that's like, oh, women empowerment. Like, I believe people should be equal in that they do what their physical talents and mental attributes can allow them to do. So if a woman is able to do the job, let her have the job. If she can't do the job, though, don't give her the job. Like, I'm an advocate for equality. So a lot of it sounded, when I was talking to some guys about it, it sounded like intimidation. Like, a lot of it was like, well, they segregate women because women can't do some of this. And granted, physical capabilities is going to limit women a lot of times, just because there is just some things that some women, I can't even say all of them. I seen a lady in the gym put up 350 pounds on a bench press. So I'm not going to say all women can do it. What I'm saying is some physical capabilities are going to limit women, but that shouldn't stop us as men from giving them a shot. Like, that's kind of, it's lazy and problematic to me to just pretty much say a woman can't do this just because she's a woman. Like, give her the shot, give her the chance to do it. That's what I advocate for. Give her the shot. If she can't do it, she can't do it. But if she's able to do that, you know, give her the opportunity. Another thing that a lot of those, and I don't want to call them women haters, because some men just don't understand they was raised like that, and I ain't copping no pleas for them. You know, it's just the way it is, and the way our society is kind of, you know, puts women in a space where they're a lot of times they sexually degraded, and they're put in positions where men feel like they can't do the same things that men can do in certain aspects. But a lot of men don't take into account the overwhelming power that women have that men don't have. And like I said, I'm not on none of that moral high ground BS. That's BS to me. But I remember a time when I was deployed, and we went to some communities, and we visited some of the communities. Well, in Muslim culture, women are not allowed to talk to men, but they are allowed to talk to women. So when women were able, so what happens was, we'll take women with us, and we were attached to a Special Forces squadron with the Air Force, and we were allowed to take women with us. And what the women would do was they would get a lot of information and intel from the women in some of those communities, which is something that as men we couldn't do. Like, if I was walking up to a woman in a Muslim country and I wanted to have a conversation with her, that might start a whole damn national incident. So those are the things we don't take into account, the value that women add. You know, also, I used to do a lot of volunteer work at the VA, the Veterans Affairs down in Dublin, Georgia. And I spoke with a World War II veteran. No lie, this was in 2013 or 14. Spoke with a World War II veteran that was there. You know, a couple of Vietnam guys I spoke with as well. And the guy was explaining to me that, I don't remember, it might not have been World War II, guys. Don't make me lie. It might have been Korean War, one of those wars in the 40s or 50s. It was like maybe the Korean War, because I don't think it was World War II. I might be lying, but he was like one of those veterans from one of those old wars, and it wasn't Vietnam. It was one before that. So he was telling me that sometimes they'll have some of the women that were in the WAC, the Women's Army Corps, certain places that men couldn't fit. They'll have a woman go in there and do it. Like, they had women like defusing bombs and shit, and during some of those wars, because the men couldn't fit in some of those crawl spaces that the enemy had set up to avoid capture or create a better fighting position for their units. So a lot of times when we sit in and we trash women and we demoralize them, we don't take into account the value. And when I say we, I'm talking we as men. We don't take into account the value that a woman can add in a combat position. You know what I mean? So we automatically assume that they can't do it, so we don't let them do it. I just think that's wrong. That's just my personal, and like I always say, none of these thoughts are the thoughts of the Warrant Officer Corps, the United States Army, or the Department of Defense. These are Andre's thoughts. So I just think as men, I just think you just have to take a look. Sometimes you gotta take a look at yourself and understand and ask yourself, what is my problem with this woman? Why don't I want this woman to try out for Ranger School? Why don't I want her to be in the Special Forces brigade? What is it hurting my life for her to be there? What value can she bring to me and my unit? You know what I mean? Like, we don't always have to see women in the road barefoot and pregnant. Like that. Them days is over, Jack. I'm going to tell you right now. My sister was dating some dude, and at the time she was making more money than the dude. And that's not uncommon in today's world. Now, I'm never going to be the man that's walking around here like, oh, women don't need a man and men don't need. I'm never going to be that guy. But what I will say is, you know, the times of holding women back and not allowing them to do the same shit that, you know, we are deemed to say that we can do, them times is gone, man. You gotta get past that. Just because that's the way we was doing it back in the old times don't mean that that's acceptable now. So I just wish, you know, if you somebody that watch my videos and you don't like this, I understand. You know, you can unsubscribe. You know, might sting a little bit, but this is how I feel about that, and I feel like it should be something that we should look at as men. We should sit back and say, hey, you know, what value does this woman bring to the military? Instead of always looking at all the other shit, that all the problems, and people always try to bring up, well, if you add a woman to a troop that never had men, then it's going to be sexually charged and men. That's not a snipe to the woman. That's a snipe to the men, bro. As men, you ain't got enough discipline to keep your Peter in your pants, man, and do your job without forcing yourself on a woman. Like, that shit says a lot about you, not them. So let me say it again. Big Bro Dre I'm not on no moral high ground. Y'all know me as a strategist. Y'all know me as a capitalist. Y'all know me as pragmatic, unpractical. And you got to think about what value that people bring to your organization and not what they taking away from it. Because I in my heart of hearts, I don't believe that putting women in specific positions or, allowing women to do certain jobs, I don't think that's going to take value from the military as a whole. I really think it's going to add it. And that's just the bottom line. So, I know I'm not going to get a lot of likes on this video. I know I'm going to probably lose a few subscribers. All my women haters, man. Listen, you shouldn't hate women, man. We got to live in the world with them. So, you need to get that off your chest, man. Let it go. But at the end of the day, man, that's how I feel, man. I appreciate you guys sticking with me this long, watching my channel. That's all I got to say on that matter. I'll see you guys in the next video.